information that we need to make this a happy, safe, and successful trip. All right. So first, we are going to start with your documentation. We're gonna do e-visas, and you have to have your passports. Another thing I want to stress: your passport cannot um, be within 6 months of expiration date of our travel date. So that means your passport cannot be expired within 6 months. So it has to be before 6 months of expiration time before our travel dates. All right. So if our travel dates is December 1st and your passport expires in, let's say, November, no go. You have to renew it. All right. So I just want to make sure everybody is on the same page with passports. And I did send an email out with all this information. You go into those links. For the e-visa, it's super easy. It's inexpensive, but I do recommend as soon as you get your passport information, or if you have your passport information now, go ahead and start the e-visa applications. All right. So now we're gonna go into a little bit about the flights. I did in the email that I sent everybody. I do want you to know that I did put the Brazil Airlines. It's called Gold. So I want everybody to go back into there. They have straight flights out of Miami, about an 8-hour flight. Um, that is the best way to go to Brazil. And here it is up on the screen. You do make sure you go up to the right hand side at the top where it says country to get English. Sometimes when you go on your phone, it's going to be in Portuguese because this is a Brazilian airline. So Brazil speaks Portuguese, not Spanish, not English. So make sure you go up to the top, click US English so that you can actually read and put in the information accordingly. So we are flying into Salvador, Bahia. That airport code is SSA. Remember, there is a El Salvador in a whole nother country. We are not going to El Salvador. We're going to Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. You don't want to mix this up because you will be going somewhere. San Salvador, that's in the Bahamas. We're not going there either. Don't mess it up. Double check, make sure the airport code is SSA for Salvador, Bahia, so that you are not flying into a whole nother country. So our dates are December 22nd through the 29th, but we want to get in at least a day before because you never know with flights. They can be cancellations, they can be bad weather. So we want to get in sometimes in the morning, a day before our actual cruise date. So I recommend, starting your flights depending on where you are in the States for the 20th because you might be getting in at midnight on the 21st. So we're going to punch in the information here so we can just pull up, some examples of some flights. Make sure you customize your cookies to reject all because if they see us coming into the website over and over again, they're going to be like, oh, okay, this person is looking for flights, and every time you come on here, your flight prices are going to be different every time, and they're going to go up higher prices. So that's a little trick. You can go in private or incognito mode and make sure you reject the cookies. Make sure you reject the cookies so that they're not, playing with our prices. So here's what it's looking like, the prices. on the dates. Everybody's coming in at different times, and then everyone is coming back home on different dates. So we will create a meetup point, and we will also be sharing some information about Airbnbs and places to stay because we're going to be staying till January the 5th. And again, we've lived in Brazil for 5 years with our family, so we're familiar with the areas. We speak Portuguese. We're familiar with the culture. We still know people there, so this is going to be a great trip for everyone. So here's you can see the prices. They're not that bad, guys, per person. They're not that bad. Are we letting that load a little bit? So you see the prices, and you can go on there and put your dates on there, and you're selected. I mean, this is probably the best we're gonna get right now for buying flights to Brazil. So you go on there, find your flights right now, and get that done ASAP. Now we're gonna come into our MSC book. This is where I booked all of the cruises, all of our staterooms or cabins were booked here with MSC. This will be my fifth MSC cruise with my family, and I absolutely love this cruise line. So we're gonna be on ship Virtuosa, and our embarkation port is Salvador, Bahia, and then our dates are December 21st through the 20. Let's put in the actual dates here. Okay, it'll pop up on the itinerary. Bear with me, it's moving a little slow. No, it's just moving slow, I think. interferes with our communication and technology. Hopefully, this works. Nope, nothing. We're gonna sign out and then we're gonna sign back in. There we go. And if it don't work this time, we'll just move forward and then we'll just come back to this. Everybody already has this information. I just want to pull it back up. But if it don't work, it's fine. Bravo! Eureka! Here we are. Let's pull up our itinerary. Okay. So here's one thing everyone can see that yes, it has military time. What does 17 hours mean? Okay, that is 5 p.m. So once we get to Salvador, oh, this is not our dates. Go back, go down. Let's see. This is our itinerary. It's just not our dates. We can go down to our. I want our specific dates. Let's see. Our dates are right here.
Oh,
Here we are. This is our actual cruise. This is our actual itinerary. And yes, they have ships. Well, the Virtuosas, the same itinerary is happening on other dates in December, but I just want to show our specific date. So on the 22nd, when we all get in, whether we're spending a night, spending 2 nights, if we're coming in on the 20th, on the 21st, regardless of that, on the 22nd, Tuesday the 22nd, we will all arrive at the port. I say as early as 10 a.m. Um, they start letting us on the ship between 10 to, I want to say, around 2 or 3. So we're all going to get our e-tickets, and on our e-tickets is going to have our arrival times. And as long as you're there before that arrival time, that's fine. I say show up earlier than our arrival time. The ship does not depart till 5 p.m., but they usually want everybody on the ship at least 2 hours before departure time. Um, and then we get to explore the ship. We get to mingle, eat, find our cabins, and then have fun, do the theater thing, and then in the morning we are going to be in Maceió, Brazil. Where's Maceió? Maceió is a beautiful city north of Salvador, and this is where we're gonna be at. Like, this is where people from all over Brazil go to vacation. Okay? You can see these pictures on Google. You can do a Google search. You can see the videos and pictures. But this is a beautiful destination, and I cannot wait to lay on that beach. And then we have 2 sea days, and then we're going to be going to Santos. Santos is actually in the city of Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo is inland, and Santos is on the coast. So this is where people from Sao Paulo go to the beach, just like um, here in the states where we'll travel from the inlands, like Arkansas fall, whatever, we'll go to the Carolinas, we'll go to Virginia. So just like that, just to go to the beach. So this is another nice place. It's kind of far away from the actual city of Sao Paulo, and I mean, I'm sure there'll be different excursions if you're into excursions. But me, I'm a beach bum. I travel just to be on the beaches. After that, we're going to Búzios, and Búzios is also about 3 hours away from the city of Sao Paulo. I mean, from Rio de Janeiro. Pardon me. So this is Búzios is actually in the state of Rio, but it's not where we will see Christ the Redeemer and you know all the beautiful Copacabana and all that. Those wonderful parts of Rio de Janeiro that is famous and what most tourists go to Rio to see. Again, this part of Rio that we're gonna go to, Búzios, is where um, the people in Brazil go to vacation. All right. So this is gonna give us a more upscale, relaxing beach getaway. So it's gonna be more clean, less people traffic, more beautiful beaches, and like I said, this is where people from Rio go to vacation. So it's about 3 hours away from Rio de Janeiro, and a bus ride would be about $22. But we remember we're on a tight time frame. Even though they give us all day, we have to think about okay, if the bus ride is 3 hours going, 3 hours coming, that's 6 hours. And in Brazil, that 6 hours can turn into 8 hours easy. So I wouldn't recommend, but like I said, if there's some ship excursions that is a part of from the cruise lines, if you're with the excursion that is created and done by the cruise lines or with the cruise lines, they can't leave us then. But if you're going out on your own to these places, oh yeah, if you're not back, we will miss that ship. So I just want to make sure everybody kind of had an idea of how far out these locations, these destinations will be to the main parts. All right, so next I wanted to go over some Airbnbs. So we're gonna be staying in some Airbnbs for those of us who is staying multiple days after. And like I said, we've lived there, so we're gonna show some of the best locations for the best prices for Airbnbs. Here's some of the ones that we found, and if you're interested, because I know I'm not sure of everyone's um, dates. Some people gotta get right back home, back to work right after they get off the ship. Some people will be staying a couple of days. So, just reach out to me. Let me know your plans. And if you need any assistance with any stay informations, we can share this. So, staying in places like Baja, now that is in the center of the city. That's where everybody wants to be. Beautiful beaches, but it is congested. People from all over the world is here. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but it is going to be more expensive in this area because this is the main tourist area. Rio Vermelho, that means Baja area and the touristy area, but it is going to be a lot less money because this is where the people of Salvador actually live. And it is another really nice area. They have an excellent nightlife, music, party, good food all night long in the streets. So, we're going to be going around to these areas. So, going north or east away from the main tourist area, we're going to find areas like Pituba. That's just like maybe like a 30-40 minute bus ride. And the further up you go, the more beautiful, pristine the beaches are going to be because it's getting away from the more touristy areas. And it will be a little less expensive as well. We lived in an area called Amaralina, which is kind of in between all of this. So, yeah, just to give you an idea of the type of Airbnbs in the areas. And just to show just some of the places, like we made an itinerary last year of some of the things and some of the sites to see in Brazil. After the president, the current president and administration was elected, a lot of people didn't feel safe to travel, and so we had to cancel this trip. But we are here now, and things are more settled, and everyone's like happy and motivated to start traveling again. And so here are some places in Brazil that is not expensive, some sightseeing things. This is called capoeira. This is the Brazilian martial art. You can see this all over the city. Um, the Pelourinho is a very famous centralized area downtown Salvador, where Michael Jackson actually shot this video. They don't really care about us. So if you remember that song, you go look at that video. That is the Pelourinho in Salvador, Bahia. Salvador has an extremely rich history. It has islands all around it that you can take day trips. They have excellent food, seafood. If you're allergic to seafood, shellfish, please, please, please make sure you bring your EpiPens and medication because it is in so much food, you don't even know that it's in there. And we do not want any medical emergencies on this trip. But actually, I just do want to recommend everybody look at the exchange rates before we go. Um, our money goes a long way. I think right now it more than quadruples. I think $1 is more than $4 American. I think up to 5 now. So remember, if you have any questions or comments or ideas, make sure you reach out. I'm here to answer all questions. Be sure to get your travel documents, to book your flights. Before you click book on those flights, make sure your flight dates are correct and your location. Make sure that is correct. Again, I can't wait to see everybody.